Hello, students. This is just your Topic 6 test review homework walkthrough. Just kind of walking you through the homework just to make sure you understand how to complete it. The best thing to do for this would be to do the homework on your own and then come back to this video to make sure that you have your answers correct and that you understand how to solve these questions. It's what we said in class, but obviously you're more than welcome to use this video any way you see fit. This is the review worksheet. We're just going to run through it with me. That way you can use this as a study tool. But question number 1, this was from, I'm going to make my pen a little bit bigger. There we go. This was from lesson 6.5. If you're using your book while we're doing this. It says 50% of what number is 30? So if I was going to solve this, I would turn 50% into a decimal. I do that by moving my decimal left twice. This is 0.5. Of, we've said in class, means the word times. What number is a variable? And then is equals 30. So then if this was the test, I would ask myself, well, how do I isolate x? And to do that, I have to do the inverse of what's shown. So I'm going to divide by 0.5 on both sides. That cancels out my 0.5, so I'm just left with x equaling whatever this would get me. So I can do this off to the side. So 30 would go in, 0.5 goes out. I move that. I move that. So really this is 5 into 300. 5 can't go into 3, but it can go into 30 6 times. So 30 minus 30 is 0. I put another 0 up here. So my answer would be 60. So that's what I would do. I would just use different numbers on the test. It's kind of the same thing with question number 2. Question number 2 is from lesson 6.6. It says Theo made the table to show the number of middle school students who attended the last football game. If this data were displayed in a circle graph, what percent of the graph would represent the 6th graders who attended the game? So to do this, I have to get the total. So to get the total, I'm going to add together all 3 of my numbers. So I do 350 plus 275 plus 225. So that's 10. This is 6. Oh boy, 6 plus 7 is 13, plus 2 is 15. And then 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So that's going to get me 850. So I know my total is 850. I'm going to put it as a fraction. And the number of 6th graders are 350. So to make it a percent, I have to do this division. So 350 is inside, 850 is outside. This is a no, this is a no, this is a no. So I have to add a decimal and a 0. I'm going to go with 3 times. So 850 times 3, I'll just do that over here. That's 0, 15, 25. So I can probably go one more. I'm going to do 850 times 4. Just get rid of this. And that. There we go. And that. Come on. There we go. Good enough. 4 times 0 is 0. This is 20, 32, 34. So this is actually a 4 minus 3,400. This gets me 100. I add down another 0. 850 goes into 1,000 once. So this is 0.41. To make it a percent, I just move it twice to the right. 41%. C. Now, if I'm doing question number 3, it says write each of the following ratios as a fraction, a decimal, and a percent. I do need to reduce these, so my numbers are over here. So my fraction would be 25 out of 100. Now I can just go and make that a decimal right now. It's 0.25 and 25%, because it's already out of 100. But if I reduce this, I can divide it by 25. I can divide this by 25, and that'll get me 1/4. So it's 1 out of 4. Remember, you need to reduce your fraction. It will be partial credit on the test if you don't. So my next one's 15 out of 20. To get from 20 to 100, to make it a percent, I can multiply this by 5, multiply this by 5, that's 75. So 75%, 0.75. And then if I reduce 15 out of 20, I can divide both these numbers by 5, and that would get me 3/4. This next one, 4/5. Kind of run out of room. I'll do 4/5 over here. I can do this times 20 and times 20. So that's going to get me 80 out of 100. So that percentage is 80%. This is 0.8. And then 4/5 is already as simple as I'm going to get. So that's 4/5. And then 25 out of 40, I don't need to show work for this problem, so I'll do that down here. 25 out of 40, if I reduce that by 5, that's going to get me 5/8. So I've got my fraction, 5 out of 8. But I can't turn 8 into 100, so I need to divide. 5 goes in, 8 goes out. Can't do that. This is 6 times minus 48 is 2. I add a 0 and I bring that down. That's twice. 20 minus 16 is 4. So that's going to get me 0.625 or 62.5%. Question 4, we'll kind of run through quick. It says, in one competition, the archery team had to shoot at targets from 3 different distances, 10, 20, and 30 meters. The number of hits and the number of shots are given below. Write their scores for each round as a fraction, a decimal, and a percent. This one you don't necessarily need to reduce, but I'll just do my fraction, my decimal, and my percent. My fraction here is 35 out of 50. Out of 50, there we go. I can just multiply 50 times 2 to get to 100. So I can make it a decimal and a percent. 0.7 and 70%. For B, 17 out of 50. So my fraction is just 17 out of 50. My decimal, if I do 50 times 2, that's 100. 17 times 2 is 34. So it's 0.34. And my percent is just 34%. And then for C, my fraction is 49 out of 50. My decimal then, 50 times 2 is 100 again. 49 times 2 is 98. So this is 0.98. Then my percent is 98%. Number 5, in each figure, express the area shaded and the area not shaded as percents. These big boxes, we've always said, just assume it's out of 100. So out of 100 here, there's 20 boxes shaded. So that's already out of 100, so I can just turn this into 20%. So my not shaded would need to be 80%. For B, it's smaller. I need to count. It's 5 rows of 5. So that is 25. And there's 5 shaded. To go from 25 to 100, this is times 4, which means this is times 4. It's 20 out of 100. So that is also 20%. My not shaded is 80%. Won't be like that on test, it's different numbers. And then C, it's out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is out of 10. and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are shaded. 5 out of 10. To get this to 100, this is times 10. This is times 10. So it's 50 out of 100, 50%, which means my not shaded is also 50%. Number 6, write the fraction as a percent. If necessary, round to the nearest tenth. We'll see if it's necessary. 8 is already just, if I make this a percent, I move it twice to the right. That's 800%. So then I just need to add 24 out of 25 to that. So 24, oops, I'm not writing. 24 out of 25. If I try to get this to 100, this is times 4. And if I do 24 times 4, it's going to get me 96. So 96 out of 100, it's 96%. So I add 800% and 96%. It's me 896%. So D is my answer. Number 7 is just kind of a comprehension question. It says if there are 30 students doing an experiment in science class, if 20% are measuring the chemicals for an experiment, what percent are not? Well, 100% is my whole. And if I'm subtracting the 20% that are measuring the chemicals, that's going to get me 80% are not. Again, my answer is D. Question 8 says, what percent of 50 is 150? Explain your reasoning, just mean show your work. So I can turn this into an equation. This is 6. But what percent, we always said, is just my variable. So I can just write x times 50 is 150. So to solve for x, again, I do the inverse. So I divide. This is divided by 50, divided by 50. So 150 goes in, 50 goes out. Can't do that. Can't do that. 50 can go into 150 3 times, and that's going to get me 0. So x is 3, but this is a decimal, so I need to still make it a percent. So I make it once, twice, 300%. So this is 300%. I've already explained my reasoning. It's my work. And then this says write the percent as a decimal and a fraction. The decimal part's easy, so I can eliminate some answer choices. 425%. If I move this decimal left twice, it's just 4.25. So just by doing that, I can get rid of answer A and answer C. It won't be like that on a test, there'll be different answers. But I know A and C is wrong. So now it's just between 4 and a fourth and 4 and a tenth, which 25%, I should remember 25% is the same thing as a quarter. So that would get me B as the right answer. But even if I didn't remember that, I can put 425 over 100. I think, well, this is a mixed number or an improper fraction. Let me make it a mixed number. And if I did that division, this is 4 minus 400. You get 4 and 25 out of 100, which that's not answer choice, so I should reduce. That's going to turn into 4 and a fourth, so B. 10, I'm going to kind of go kind of fast because we did this in class together anyways. So if you don't have it done, it's because you weren't paying attention. But we did this in class. So number 10, fill in the missing parts of the table. 5/10 is the same thing as 0.5 or 50%. 0.21 as a decimal, I just move it twice to the right. So that's 21% or 21 out of 100. 19%, I just move this decimal right a little bigger so it's easier to see. Oops, I move it twice left. So it's 0.19 or 19 out of 100. Sorry, someone just tried to come in my classroom. 1.5, if I turn this fraction into a decimal, that's 1.5, and I just shift it twice to the right, 150%. 0.125, if I make this a percent, it's 12.5%, and then this is 12.5 out of 100. 150%, same thing twice. So this is 1.5. This would should be 1, 1, and 1/2. I think my computer's about to overheat, so I hope I can make it through the rest of this. Number 11, a lawn trimmer is on sale for 45% off. The sale price is $129.25. So I need to know, first of all, what was the discount, or what price of it am I paying? So I take this 45%. So I do 100%. I'm not writing as much anymore, so hopefully this finishes. Minus 45%, and that's going to get me 55%. So then I do 55% divided by whatever my sale price is, so times X, or times whatever my unknown is going to get my price, equals $129.95. So I divide by this as a decimal, I divide by this as a decimal. I don't have any paper free on this computer, so I'll just do this down here, where I know I'll have room. But 120, let me fix that. 129.25, 25 divided by 0.55. So I move this decimal over twice, move this decimal over twice. So that's going to get me 55 into 129.55. So this can't happen, this can't happen. So I'm going to get twice here. 55 times 2 is 110. So 110, this gets me 19. I bring down my 5. 55, let's try, I don't know, 4. This is going to get me 20. 22. So that's not quite right. So I could try 3. So 55 times 3 is going to get me 15,165. That's about as close as I'm going to get. So that's 3 minus 165 is going to get me 30. I bring down my 5. And then as close as I can get to this is 235. So my original sale price is going to be $235. And then my last one. This is again just back to 6.5. What is 16% of 47? So I just solve what is x equals 16%. I make it a decimal, 0.16 times 47. So I just do this math. 47 times 0.16. Actually, I'm going to make this go down a little bit more, otherwise I won't have room. There we go. So 40, let me write please. There we go. 47 times 0.16. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 4 is 28, plus 0, 7, 4. This is going to be 2, that's 15. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 4 is 7. And then I move my decimal over twice, so it's 7.52. My only answer choice is A. So again, that is your whole worksheet, your homework. To bring it in, I expect that you're going to have all the work done with me. This is more just for you to make sure that you understand how to do all of the questions for tomorrow's test, because it is just the same questions but with different numbers. If you have any questions or you still need help, there's tutoring Friday morning before the test. Just come in. But that should be some assistance for you. I don't know how to end this. Oops.